Warning: Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please hit that link in the description, go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, welcome to the day before the end of the grift. The day before the end of the grift. November 5th is tomorrow. And we'll be able to see the outcome within about a week or so, because you got people saying that there wasn't going to be, confirming the election results same day like they would usually do, or next day like they would usually do. Some people are saying it could take up to a week. But with that being said, family, I felt that with one day ahead of the election, for those who haven't voted already, doing early voting and things like that, that we would go over some of the things that's been going on since last week, since the last time we spoke. And I want to bring a few things to the attention of the world. So let's first start off with this so-called BET, Black Men's Summit. Now, let's be 100% clear. BET is not owned by any black person. It is owned by a white woman. That's just the facts. I can't remember her name right off the top of my head. Something Sumner. She's the daughter of the Sumner dude who just passed away. But she's been running BET for some time now. I've done several broadcasts about it. You can look back through my video catalog in order to find those videos. However, BET has been used for a long time to basically they use BET as an avenue to wag their fingers at black men. If you remember the last BET Awards where they had Taraji P. Henson talking about this about us, this about us, this about us. I spoke about how BET wasn't owned by black folks then in that video. But what makes it egregious is all the bootlicks that are willing to play along as if all this stuff really is about us. And it really isn't. All these actors and musicians and whatever entertainer you want, put a name here. They act as if it doesn't really affect our community because they're not a part of our community. That's just the facts. So, just to be clear, and I want to make sure. One second. Okay. All right. So the owner of the company, and I thought I had the name absolutely correct. Sumner Redstone was the owner of the company. He passed away and left the company to his daughter, Cherie Redstone. Now, I'm saying this, and I wanted to go and get that information because I wanted to make sure I put names to this. So you have Cherie Redstone telling these black entertainers to get on national television and finger wag at black Americans. That's what they did at the BET Awards, where they brought on Kamala with these whack ass, oh, I'm out in these streets types, talking points, and trying to make her real relatable and all this other crap, when all it did was show how cringe she really was. All of it has the same intended outcome, and that intended outcome is literally to finger wag black men and women. More so black men, because they don't want to mess with black women in that sense, because they don't want black women to fully get on code with black men, even though we're seeing that at this very moment. But that's what makes this more egregious in my eyes, because, give me 1 second here. Lost my place there. Okay, well, we'll just have to, once we get there. But what makes it more egregious, you think about it, this white woman, Cherie Redstone, she's telling black men to get out there and finger wag at other black men. If she didn't, it wouldn't be on TV. Who the hell you think greenlit this? Who do you think greenlit it? It wouldn't have been on national television if Cherie Redstone did not say, hey, get out there and go do this. So this is supposed to be a Black Men's Summit. It should be called the Black Puppet Summit. But we're going to get into it because I have a few things that I want to address. And then we're going to move along because there's a few topics that I want to pull. There's a few topics that I want to speak about, and I want to make sure I have enough time to do so. So let's get into it.
Now, Ben Crump, what is your view of VP Harris and a record when it comes to criminal justice?
You know, as a civil rights lawyer, I got to interact with Vice President Harris when she was the Attorney General of California. We were not on the same size, but I saw her passion to do the right thing and her passion to try to help black people.
See, this is a big, big problem when it comes to the black community in our so-called legal class, our so-called doctor's class, our so-called any type of professional class. Anytime a dollar or something get waved in their faces, they are so willing to sell out the black community, and this is a damn shame. This ambulam chasing fool gonna sit here and say that she was so passionate. Yeah, she was passionate about her job because she was passionate about locking up black folk. She was passionate about targeting the black community, in which I belong to. It's not just the fact that I don't like Kamala Harris. I grew up in the state when these things were going down, and now they're trying to convince people that what was, wasn't, and what is, what isn't. What she used to be no longer exists, or it never existed, but what she is today is what she always has been. That is a lie. It is a misconception that they are pushing. It is misinformation that they are pushing on you. It is propaganda. because they never go to speak to people from California. Even in this whole situation here, I watched the whole thing. And they send somebody to North Carolina to ask about Kamala Harris' record. Why would you send somebody to North Carolina to ask about a record that happened in California? You're supposed to be sending somebody to California to figure out the record, talking to people on the ground in California. That is doing research. But the people in California are actually speaking up against her violations of our civil rights. And this man is sitting there acting as if it didn't happen. He's acting as if she didn't keep people locked up past their times for petty crimes in order to have cheap slave labor. He's acting as if she didn't put people in certain positions to be firefighters while they were locked up, and since they were in that job, she didn't want to release them either, even though they were past their probations and all that other stuff. He don't want to talk about the truancy laws, which target black parents because their students, their kids miss 10% of a school semester. He's not bringing up Cherie Peoples. He's not bringing up anything that violated us, but he want us to believe that she was so passionate. I believe that. I can believe that if he says that she was so passionate. But I would say one thing. I would add one caveat to that situation in which he just said. She was passionate, but she was only passionate when she was targeting black Americans, because when, they were trying to go after the police officers that was caught up in this police brutality situation, she blocked releasing the jackets of certain police officers so that information wouldn't get out. They called her Cop Mala Harris for a reason. They act like we have short memories.
When we think about it, DL, you have to think that this is a sister who grew up in Oakland, California.
Kamala Harris grew up in Canada and only came back to Oakland after she did a couple of semesters of college in Canada. Then she transferred to Howard University. What are we speaking about? She's not a sister. It came out when she just did an interview with Shannon Sharpe, and I'm not even gonna go into that interview. But she just did an interview with Shannon Sharpe, basically telling everybody that these are her play cousins. You got family that's born family, then you got family that you love and make family. And I got all these people in my family who love me and I love them, and they certified black Americans, and they were the first to do this, first to do. This is what we're getting, family. So she just admitted to not having any black people in her family. And people step right over that. Same thing this man doing here. And by the way, it just so happened to stop here. What the hell is going on with this dude in the crowd with a crown on his head? What the hell is happening here? Who is this man? I digress. Let's continue.
And she chose that the best way I can help the system is to be a prosecutor, be on the inside. Most of the time, you have people like me, we're fighting on the outside.
But don't we want...
This man says she chose to be on the inside. She's the spook who sat by the door. Family. When you're fighting for your people from the inside, you don't target your people from the inside as well. That doesn't make any damn sense. And her whole damn career in California has been about targeting black Americans. And they always try to get you to think that, you know, we need people on the inside. We need people on the inside. And none of those people that's so-called on the inside ever do anything that actually benefits black folk. They keep climbing up the ladder, Remember when they said Jay-Z was making a power move? Remember when they said Jay-Z was getting on the inside so he can make better change for us? When Kaepernick took that knee. And then he got up there talking about, I think we're past kneeling and all this other crap. This is where we're at, family. This is what happens when you have people who claims to be working on the inside. But everything that they're doing on the outside screams
$2
that they're
a couple of
against
months
black
ago, and now it's like
Americans.
fucking $7. Of course, I'm gonna
Hold
say
on.
something.
Excuse me, that jumped ahead of us there. But that's what it is, family. Everything on the outside that they're doing is targeting black Americans, but they want us to think that they're on the inside working for us. Let's continue.
We need people on the inside.
That's to your point.
Yeah.
I think we put prosecutors, black prosecutors, who we elect a lot, in an untenable position. We want them to be protectors of the community, which that's the gig, that's the profession. You work with her. I'm sure you were in court with her on the other side of the state.
But out of that, we gained a healthy respect for one another. While everybody talks about prosecutors being tough on crime, she came up with a concept called being smart on crime.
Yeah, I'm going to use all these people who have low-level offenses, and I'm going to use them as slave labor. That's smart on crime. I'm going to hold them past their release dates to the point where I have a judge fighting against me, literally threatening me because I refuse to release these people. That's smart on crime. I'm going to violate all of their civil rights. This is coming from a civil rights attorney, ladies and gentlemen. This is coming from a civil rights attorney, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ludicrousy that happens because we don't have anybody truly representing who the hell we really are. No one representing what our interest truly, really is. And you got all these actors in the goddamn audience, paid for people in the audience, because these ain't real brothers. None of these people in there are brothers. They're coons. The coon train is coming. Tariq need to do a whole new remix to that coon song, because god dang it, the coon train is definitely happening and going on right here.
When she became prosecutor in San Francisco, she said, I'm gonna be smart on crime. She had this back on track policy that said when young brothers and sisters messed up, she said that if it's your first time and you're under the age of 18, they're not gonna charge you with this crime for life. If you didn't get in any more trouble.
Family, let me let him finish and I'm gonna explain it to you.
And if you graduated from high school or you got a GED, they would expunge your record. Now, what prosecutors we know when we were growing up would treat us like that?
Family, that was the law in California, period. Kamala Harris didn't put that law through. That's basically the law of the land throughout the United States of America. If you are underage and you commit a crime and you go to juvie or whatever and you get out and you graduate and you don't do any more or commit any more crimes, automatically the judge is going to expunge your record. Which means that no one can go back into your juvenile history and try to charge you for something that you're doing as an adult because of your juvenile history. So this man is being intellectually dishonest. He is being intellectually dishonest because literally that was the law of the land. It is still the law of the land to this day. Now, some states may vary, but in California, that was always the law. When I was growing up, I was born in '86 in Gardena, California. And the law has not changed since then when it came down to the juvenile system. It just hasn't. So what he's doing is telling a blatant lie, trying to make it seem like she championed something that was already there. The same way they're trying to say that her and Biden championed the low cost of Medicare, not Medicare, but little prescription prices when Trump put the 36 cap on it, $36 cap or whatever. They came into office, removed it, then put it back into place so that they can say they put a cap on prescription drugs. This is the same thing this man is trying to do right here, trying to say that she championed a law that was already there before she got into office. And this is why we need real lawyers. This is why I decided to go to law school. Because of people like him. We went from having Johnny Cochrans to Benjamin Crumps. Blatant liars, manipulators, and participators within the whole oppression of Black Americans. Let's move on, family. I forget this guy's name here. Michael Early, however you say his name, I don't even care. This guy right here, I have never trusted. In any movie that this man has ever been in, I've always watched this guy because for some reason I've always found in my experience there's something about this guy that's going to come back and it's going to be the plot twist. I just feel like it's always been that way for me. So when they bring out somebody like Michael Ealy, I don't care. I'm automatically writing him off as an op.
It amazes me oftentimes how many times Democrats have to provide receipts for all of the things that they do and for all of their qualifications.
If Democrats provided receipts, if they had to provide receipts, that's because no one is seeing what's being done. If I go to the grocery store right now and I spend $1,000 and I invite my homeboys over to eat and I put $1,000 worth of food on the table and they came in and I said, enjoy fellas, I spent $1,000 on this food so we can eat good tonight. Now, if the table is filled with all the good stuff, people would be like, yeah, man, it just looks like you spend a lot of money on this. But if I say I spend $1,000 and they look on the table and all they see is cheese and crackers and a bottle of yellowtail wine, I guarantee you they're going to be looking dead at me like, nigga, you lying. Where is Simba? Because this nigga is lying. So if they did something, they wouldn't even have to show the receipts. We would already feel the impact. We would be able to talk about what they've been doing.
And yet on the other side, there's just no accountability. When you look at what...
There's no accountability on either side. on either side.
Kamala Harris, who's been a public servant basically her whole life.
Right.
She is the most qualified candidate to run for president
No doubt.
right now.
Okay.
Family, how in God green earth can somebody who was the most disliked vice president of all times set a record for being the most disliked vice president of all times? How now is she all of a sudden she's just the most qualified to do the job when she wasn't qualified to do anything that she did while she was in office? She couldn't even hold the border as the border czar. She can't go have conversations with foreign nationals because they end up going to war with other foreign nationals after she leaves. Where's these qualifications? Her whole career is in California, is targeting Black Americans. So what the hell is this dude talking about? But this is the Hollywood political machine.
Hey, to your point, all right. I said it here. I wanted to believe it.
Right.
And have you ever been mad at somebody so long you forgot why you was mad, but you're going, I'm gonna stay mad because I can't. If I was mad this long, it must be a reason to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's insanity, but I think a lot of people unreasonably feel that way.
I think you.
No, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. The Democrats are insane if they think that they can continue to have us vote for them after showing us these past 4 years what they've been doing for everyone else. Why? Literally ignoring the interests of Black Americans. D.L. Hughley, you are insane if you believe that you can keep us on the Democratic plantation just because they're giving you little trinkets and things like that. Oh, but that's not why you're doing it, is it, DL? Is it because there's some other information that you don't want to talk about? That they want to bring back out that you want to keep quiet? Oh, we're going to talk about that in a little bit too.
You got to give yourself grace because I think you have done more than enough by apologizing publicly.
We're going to move on because I can't stand to see this weakness, this epitome of coonery. The epitome of coonery. Oh, we're going to get 35 seconds of some more coonery, so let's go.
And a lot of people are like, wait, no, that's not it anymore.
Right.
But years of socialization have taught us that actually that is the image that America has put forward as the image of what you want to be, of the person that you want to lead. So it isn't just a Black issue. We got a nationwide issue about the perception of hypermasculinity masquerading as leadership, when in fact it was our mamas and our grandmamas and our great-grandmamas who got us here.
Just gonna ignore my grandfather, huh? The man who raised me. Gonna ignore my father, the man who put the seed in my mother to bring me to this planet. Just going to ignore my Uncle Touche, who was literally there anytime I made a phone call to him. I needed advice or I needed some hood stuff to happen. You literally just going over and skipping over my cousin Gordo, and you literally, do you see what I'm saying? All the men that's been in my life that's carried me and lifted me and held me up, whether it was in the good or in the bad, all the men that's been there for me, I'm supposed to just ignore now and say they don't exist because it's all about my mama. It's all about my grandmama. And neither of them agrees with the Democratic Party or what they're doing right now. Nor do they agree what they stand for. My grandmother is a stone cold Christian from the Bible Belt. Grandfather is too. Shreveport, Louisiana, to be very specific. And if you know anybody from down that way, you know they don't play about their God. Not at all. And this whole administration has shown how against God and God's policies, God's commandments they are. But let's continue, family. I want to get to what this buffoon here said.
That things were better under Trump. I've heard it a lot. How widespread do you believe that is?
I don't believe that.
No, I'm saying, but it is a pervasive.
Oh, yeah.
It is a pervasive attitude.
Yeah. No, I mean, I represent, I don't represent, but I'm here to speak to the YDS generation.
Sure.
That's the young, dumb, and stupid kids that's out there, right?
How did this man ever get with Janet Jackson? I really want to know, how did this man ever get with Janet Jackson? I remember when I was younger and I saw that they were together. That was the first damn question that me and the homies was asking. How in the hell did Jermaine Dupri get Janet Jackson? I am glad that Janet didn't stay with this man. And I don't have no hard feelings about that. I'm really glad because of dumb stuff like this. You just sat here and called a whole generation stupid because they don't want to go after a candidate or support a candidate that they see does not support them, that they see does not have their best interests at heart, that they see do not represent them. But yet, they're the young, dumb, stupid generation. Or maybe you just reached the point where, as Jason Black would say, you are now an old nigga. The very same ones that he told us not to trust. I don't even have to play the rest of his stuff. I just wanted to play that one clip right there because, like I stated, these niggas don't have nobody's interests in mind but their own. That's it. Let's continue, family. Now, this is Vic Mensa, and I don't want to talk bad about Vic Mensa, but I don't really know this dude. Like, I hear his name from time to time. I know he was on Wild 'N Out a little bit, but who is this dude? None of his songs really ring a bell to me. Like, usually when you bring somebody out famous, you kind of know the person. I don't know this dude. But he said something that I want to play because it's very important that we talk about that.
Maternal mortality rates amongst black women are exponentially higher in states with Republican-led abortion bans. As black men, our primary responsibility in this humanity is to protect black women.
Yes, indeed.
That's why we're here. And I think protecting black women begins and ends with listening to them about what makes them feel safe. And they overwhelmingly support the right to choose what happens with their body.
Yeah.
A majority of over 75 to 80%. I remember when Trump was president last, and my sister was living in Memphis. I'm from Chicago. There was a KKK rally in Memphis, Tennessee at the time. And I just remember how unable I felt to protect her. And that's a direct correlation to that becoming another possibility, just the emboldening of the people who seek to destroy us and to destroy our mothers, sisters, nieces, and the women in our lives. So
this dude literally just linked abortions to KKK members. They're going around trying to frame it as reproductive rights. There's no such thing as a reproductive right when you're literally trying to fight for the right to unalive the life that's within you. That's not reproductive. Reproductive means you're fighting for the right to have children. These people are fighting for the right for black women to unalive their babies. But then they're going around telling people, we gotta let these illegals in because we're not having enough babies. But this is what the nonsense, this is how they frame this nonsense. It's not a reproductive right. It's the right to unalive your child. In every state have some sort of exemption. But that is diabolical. Using your sister's situation, your situation when you had an issue with the KKK or whatever, which shows that's about race. Then you try to tie it into some abortion nonsense, which really isn't about race. If you want to speak about the medical apartheid, that's about race. Black women are always targeted by every single industry, whether it's the Medicare industry, whether it's actual the legal system when it comes to raising children. White women aren't as scrutinized as black women are scrutinized when it comes to raising their children. They'll have CPNS knocking on the black woman's door quick, fast, and in a hurry. But let a white woman have a child running around with a dang gun or some stuff like that, and there's no problems here. He didn't get hurt. Nobody got hurt. There's no crime. They don't want to talk about the real issues at hand. The real issue at hand is white supremacy, the targeting of foundational black Americans. Abortion ain't gonna stop racism unless you're aborting all the babies of the racist. Let's continue. One of the family did some digging and found out that some of those audience members were literally paid actors. Literally. Want to know why you don't hear any pushback from the audience? They're all paid to be there. The dude on the left is an actor. I used to be in a TV show Facebook group with him. The facts are in, the streets not in these fake panels. So while Kamala's claiming to be in the streets aren't in the panels that's supposed to be repping Kamala. I mean, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And like I said, our people call this stuff out. Our brother Arthur, he said just like this: I'm missing Living Color. This is how Black Men's Summit was the other day. They are afraid to leave the plantation. Let's get into it, family.
The dogs! I don't hear the dogs!
Man, what dogs, man? Is there something I can help you with? Because I'm on my way home and, man, I am whipped.
Oh, Lord, how many lashes they give you?
Nah, man, I mean, I'm beat.
Well, at least you still got your foot.
Man, look, what is it that you want, man? I don't have any time for this.
Well, you must be one of them house niggas. Look, I'm just looking for my freedom.
Freedom?
Yes, sir.
Well, where the hell you been, in the cave?
Yes, sir, right back yonder.
Oh, man, look, you must be from the South, man. Brothers up here don't act like that.
Who?
Excuse me.
Well, move it. You're blocking the way.
I'm sorry, sir. We just mosey out your way. Man, what the hell is the matter with you?
I'm trying to jog, and you're blocking my way.
Yeah, well, next time, run around, jackass.
What?
Is you crazy, man? Is you crazy? You don't be talking to the white man like that. They want to be right even when they wrong. We're sorry, sir. We're sorry, sir. Don't mean to hurt you. Don't mean to...
Tell me that don't sound like a lot of these DNC bootlicks right now. Tell me it don't sound like a lot of these bootlicks in the Republican Party. See, this is why we don't rock with either side, because this is what they want you to be in order to really rock with them.
He must got one of them that colored fever going around. Boys, now feel it to you. Accept my apologies, please, sir.
Well, I'll accept yours.
Thank you.
But I don't like your friend's attitude.
You better change your attitude. Man, why did you do that? What you talking about?
You better change your attitude. Who does that sound like? Don't that sound like Jim Clyburn? Stop sloganizing. Sloganizing kills. Sloganizing kills.
Why didn't your pappy teach you nothing about survival? You don't talk to the white man like that. Them people want to be right even when they're wrong. You see what you did? You don't put the dogs on us. Them dogs are a lot smaller than Pappy said they would. It's 1991. What did you say? I said stop eyeballing that white woman.
I'm pretty sure a lot of them coons in the Republican Party get told that a lot. Stop eyeballing that white woman. Anyway, family. All right, so Vic Mensa was talking about how black men's number one job is to protect black women. Our job is to protect the black family. But it's funny that we have a bunch of men on stage and you're telling us that we got to protect black women and all this other stuff when the host of the show admitted that he didn't even protect his own daughter. Oh, no. He didn't even protect his own daughter when she came to him. When she came to him and said that she was sexually assaulted by one of his friends, he didn't protect his own daughter. But come to find out, I come across an article from 2014 that a lot of people might have forgot about. So let's look at it here. Wait, what? Hold up. Huffington Post. It's D.L. Hughley accused of endangering the lives of black women after controversial domestic violence comments. What? Wait a second. What do you mean? Not the champion of protect black women. Not the champion of protecting black women. This is interesting. Just days after the announcement of Columbus Short dismissal from ABC's hit series Scandal, comedian D.L. Hughley has landed himself in hot water for recent comments he made regarding Short's ongoing marital woes with estranged wife. So, you want to talk about another man's DV cases, and you couldn't even protect your own daughter? Where's the protecting black women part? During a recent segment on this radio show, Radio 1 show, the D.L. Hughley show, the 51-year-old, and he was 51 years old in 2014. It is 2024. So he is 61 years old. The 51-year-old questions the validity behind Short's misdemeanor spousal battery charge, in which the actor reportedly choked his wife while she was sleeping. So you wasn't even trying to protect black women. What? Come on. Let's see what he says. The star of one of the hottest dramas in the country chokes the F out of his wife? That doesn't ever happen. Really? Really? What happened to protect all women? Our number one job is to protect black women. I don't think it happened, first off. Like the time Warren Sapp was getting ready to do the Super Bowl, and some brawl said that he raped her. I have to throw the G on there,
The
family.
fuck? Because if I
Hold
think that
on.
shit is crazy.
I don't know why this shit keep on starting before it's time to get there. Where was I? Oh yeah, raped her. There are just as many examples of women lying on men in the middle of a divorce proceeding to get what they want as there are men who actually do anything. I think it meant to say these things or whatever. My point is, if he did what she's alleging he did, she could still get all that she's going to have and not bring up now when it damages his market value that she's going to be impacted by. I'm not reading it crazy, family. That's exactly how it's written there. If he loses that job, nobody living in Calabasas anymore. Okay. So basically, he's basically saying, shut the hell up. Even if he did these things, why bring them up? Even if he did these things, why bring them up? Even if he did these things, why bring them up? You're hurting his market value. Does that sound like somebody who's saying protect all black women? Does it sound like somebody who says the job of black men is to protect black women? Or does it sound like someone that should be hosting a show about that? Let's move on. Dwan B put this up. Remember when this nigga couldn't read until he was 30? That I didn't know about. But that was put up in response to what DL said here.
As president, she will give each and every one of us a fair shot in life. But I have to admit, I didn't always believe that. I mean, if you told me the 15-year-old me would be on stage supporting a prosecutor and a teacher, there is no way that I would have believed you. But because of that, I made assumptions about Kamala's record. And I often repeated them to a lot of people. Then
the nigga couldn't even read her record. I'm questioning whether he's read her record now.
One day, Kamala invited me to her house. She put her hand on my shoulder and she asked me to do some research. Something I had never done. Something a lot of people I know had never done before. Imagine attacking someone's character without a single Google search.
For the people in California, do you need a Google search in order to know what she did in California? Or is that for people who lives outside of California who's gullible to situations like this? I'm just asking for it, friend. Let's move on. Our sister here, and this sister be going off I'm going to put this speed back 1 × 5 because I was told by one of my subs that the last time I played a video trying not to get struck, I played it too quick. The video was going too fast, so we ain't going to do it ×2 today. We're going to go ×1.
I am so over this conversation, and I am so over black politicians, the Obamas, Michelle, and Barack, Kamala, and black celebrities trying to act like they just don't understand and can't figure out why black men and really black people are not supporting Kamala the way that we supported Obama. Barack Obama got 92% of the black vote. 92% of the black vote. And we watched him for 8 years, 96 months, 2,922 days, do absolutely nothing for black people. We watched him pass rights for the LGBTQ community, pass rights for Israel, pass rights for this person and that person, and do nothing for the black people who helped put him in office. 92%. And prior to Obama, black people have been voting for 44 years because the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1964. President Obama was elected in 2008. So no solutions prior to Obama had come to the black community, nothing from voting. So once Obama got in, black people thought that we would see some solutions because there was someone in office who looked like us. We received zero, nothing for putting him in office. And none of the people who are defending Obama and Kamala, and even Obama and Kamala themselves, can tell us one single thing either of their administrations did for black people specifically to help our community. Obama doing nothing for us for 8 years is the reason why Trump was able to come after him, run for president, and say to black people, what do you have to lose? You just had a black president in office who did nothing for you, might as well give me a try. And during Trump's 4 years, our condition didn't get any better or any worse. Then the fear-mongering of Trump and Republicans got Biden in office. And just like Obama, Biden thanked black people for getting him into office, and for 4 years, we watched them do absolutely nothing for black people and pass all these laws to help immigrants and people who are not from this country, but do nothing for the people he thanked for getting him into office. And y'all can skip us. With the presidents can't do anything, you've got to get Congress and Supreme Court and this person in this seat and Democrats in this seat. We don't want to hear that because all of your understanding of politics leads to no progress. And it actually helps aid to our position that spending all of our time voting in presidential elections rather than doing something for ourselves is a waste of time. And we don't even have to think about it when it comes to Kamala because she's already said point blank period she's not going to do anything for black people specifically. So there's nothing to figure out, nothing to wait on or wait for. So when you're done casting your vote, which is no problem, go vote. That's no issue. Just know that we'll be right back in our community looking for solutions to our problems. And these black celebrities will be silent. Just like they were when it was time to speak out against our actual oppressors, because it's not Trump. Our actual oppressors, the so-called Jews, and the reason we call them so-called is because they do not uphold the beliefs of the Torah and they are not the true children of Israel. But these people who control our entertainment and music industry, and they are perpetuating these harmful things that they're promoting to our people that have real life effects in our community. They control our black economy, and that's the reason why we are not able to actually advance economically. They keep us divided so that we can't unite and advance economically. The only person who spoke on our behalf when it was time to speak up against our actual oppressors, while all of these black celebrities were silent, was the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He has stood on our behalf when no one else would. He's been our warner, our example, and he has told us what to do to separate and do for self or suffer the consequences. So when y'all are done voting, we'll be right back here talking about how we can be the solutions to our own problems. And let's not forget these other communities, these immigrant communities, they are getting things done within their community and they are not out here heavily involved in politics. Let's finally break this cycle.
Now I agree with the sister up until the very end of it, because we don't split up the Jews from the white supremacists. White supremacists are white supremacists, that's one. And then two, when she said all these other groups are out here getting things done without politics, that's not true at all. All these groups are actually getting these handout subsidies and things like that. Then they're going into their communities that get these handouts and things like that. And then they're utilizing those resources. It isn't that they're just building out of nothing. So I gotta push back on that to the sister. That's not the issue at all. And it's not like we don't work together. Every time black Americans work together to get something popping, we get targeted. Other people can do things undisturbed. That's the difference. That's the huge difference between us and different communities. But let's continue because we ain't got that much time left. So the new endorsements, let's talk about these. Let's talk about these endorsements. First, you got J-Lo, aka J-Ho. Don't be fooled by the rocks that she got. She's still the same old hoe from the block. I said it. I said it.
I promised myself I wouldn't get emotional. But you know what? You know what? We should be emotional. We should be upset. We should be scared and outraged. We should. Our pain matters. We matter. You matter.
This is some more of that DNC nonsense. They want you to be emotional. They don't want you to think logically. See, anybody who's trying to take you off your logically thinking brain to make you emotional is trying to use you for their own personal gain. And we're not here to be used anymore. We're nobody's whipping mules. So all that emotional stuff, that get pushed to the side. We'll deal with emotions after we deal with the logistics of this situation. Let's deal with the logic. Let's move on to the next person who they brought out to endorse Kamala, Cardi B. You know, wet ass. I don't even have to say nothing. I'm gonna let Cardi B do it on her own.
1 second, guys. 1 second.
Oh, in case y'all don't know why she was playing like that, her teleprompter went out. And so now she's going to start, you know, floundering, flailing, looking for help, calling out patience. I think that's her assistant. I thought she was saying at first, I just need some patience, as in everybody be patient. Apparently, Patience is her assistant who came with her phone that she couldn't really read from. Notice how they got her cleaned up? She out here trying to look like a Jackie Kennedy. Why is it that you do all this ratchet stuff, but you think that we'll be able to forget because you put a side part in a white shirt on? I don't get it. But let's continue because I want to get through this.
Okay, so I don't take lightly the call. Sorry guys, I'm a little nervous. Guys. I've been waiting for this moment this whole life, my whole life.
She couldn't even say I've been waiting for this moment my whole life, because she hasn't been. She's taking a page out of Michaela Montgomery's playbook, where she said, I've been waiting on this my whole life. That's from Michaela. She said that. But she couldn't even get it out.
I need Patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl? I need Patience over here. Hold on. How you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to change these 4 years? No. Are we ready to change the next 8 years? Because we're going to make sure we have Kamala Harris in office for 8 years. Thank you.
I'm not even going to play the speech because you can go and cringe and grind your teeth out on your own time. But yeah, I apparently she was getting roasted, and she came out and she felt the need to explain her position.
I could only imagine what middle class people or people in the hood is motherfucking thinking. So yes, I'm going to say something. The fuck? And I have a big platform, so I do want anybody that's responsible. When I go to the fucking supermarket, like I went to a supermarket, I'm seeing that everything tripled up. That like lettuce was like $2 a couple of months ago, and now it's like fucking $7. Of course I'm gonna say something. The fuck? Because if I think that shit is crazy, I could only imagine what middle class people or people in the hood is motherfucking thinking. So yes, I'm going to say something. The fuck? And I have a big platform, so I do want anybody that's responsible of these fucking prices to put that shit the fuck down. Responsible of these fucking prices to.
Here's the problem with that. Inflation is up because of the people that you're sitting there stomping for, and you know damn well that's the case because you was talking about this some time ago. Now all of a sudden you had a change of heart talking about it's Trump that's the hustler. But when Biden got into office, you was going after Biden. But here's another thing. Here's the thing. Let's read it. We all know Trump was a hustler, but hustling women out of their rights of their own body is nasty work. Okay. All right. Hustling Americans out of their hard-earned money by selling $500 Trump sneakers, $60 Trump Bibles, and $100,000 Trump watches, is even nastier. What does it matter? I don't get what makes people think by even bringing up the stuff that Trump is selling that it makes him look bad by any means. It doesn't make him look bad. It makes people who buy the shit look stupid. You're doing that as a shaming tactic, but you already said that he's a hustler. Hustler's gonna hustle. Tomorrow he'll be hustling you out of your healthcare rights. Donald Trump talks about how he has concepts of a plan, but the only concept of a plan he has is a plan to hustle you. Okay, here's the thing. Let me see. This Cardi B.
Survive. Like, I had to go straight. I had to go, oh yeah, you wanna fuck me? Yeah, let's go to this hotel. And I drug niggas up and I robbed them. That's what I used to do. Survive. Like, I had to go straight. I had to go, oh yeah, you wanna fuck me? Yeah, let's go to this hotel. And I drug niggas up and I robbed them. That's what I used to do.
So you want to talk about nasty work, but you're literally the poster child for the most ratchet woman on the planet. You drugged men. You robbed men. You even had men participating. Hold on, I'm overstepping because she came out trying to explain away why she drugged and robbed men. Trying to make it seem like it was, life or death situations, right? Now, remember when she said this, though?
I'm be like, guy, I'm gonna take him out. We're gonna get drunk. I'm gonna get him all p***ed up and everything. We're gonna have a good time. Get him super twisted. Then bring a bitch around. We're gonna have a threesome. And when he wake up, he gonna be like, what the fuck? Yeah, because the bitch was a tranny. I'm be like, yup, we had a threesome with a tranny. Yup, a tranny suck your dick. You don't gotta fuck another nigga to get even, bitch. There's other ways to get even. I'm be like, alright.
She says that she would get even with a man for cheating on her by literally drugging the dude, getting him drunk, and then having him have sex with a transvestite, a tranny. But this is who they want to bring out to get our votes and try to curry a little favor. No pun intended. These are the people that, you should be following to the polls. They had Glorilla come out.
She's off. Hey, it's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 95 degrees. I ain't got no hitter, and no hitter ain't got. Let's go. I'm about to show my these hitters love her. How the is that your man? If he right here with me. Turned up with my sister. Turned up in my show, yeah. 50,000 fans came to see me do my dance. Got 1,000,001 haters.
Family, this woman is blacking a shoe. She got to censor every other word. She's blanking in every other word. She's turned up at her shows and turned up at the polls. Now, I ain't gonna lie, this wasn't as bad as, Meg Thee Stallion one, but it was still pretty bad. And remember when she said, when they asked if she was endorsing Joe Biden, and she was like, at the end of the day got to end and all that other crap? And I explained to everybody that her taking the picture, she don't have to say that she's endorsing him. Her taking the picture in itself is an endorsement. Fast forward, now you got her doing a whole little performance over here with Cop Mala. For Cop Mala. Very interesting. Then you got Bill Clinton out in Michigan, and he was doing the Obama finger wag to white people.
Let me talk about the hardest issue here in Michigan is the Middle East. Hamas did not care about a homeland for the Palestinians. They wanted to kill Israelis and make Israel uninhabitable. Well, I got news for them. They were there first. Before there was, their faith existed, they were there. In the time of King David in the southern...
This man is speaking about something he has no knowledge of. I'm white, not say so, because he wasn't there to definitively say any of that. And the history shows that that's not true. Their history shows that that's not true. The Jewish encyclopedia tells you that it's not true. It tells you what an Ashkenazi Jew is, and it also tells you what a Khazar Jew is.
Most tribes had Judea and Samaria. So here's what I want to tell you. I'm going to do everything I can to convince people that they cannot murder their way out of this, neither side. You can't kill your way out of this. And they have to make a new beginning. But when I read that people in Michigan are thinking about not voting because they're mad at the Biden administration for honoring his historic obligation to try to keep Israel from being destroyed, I think that's a mistake.
Who did he sound like, family? Didn't like Obama come out and almost say the same words verbatim? When I hear that people are thinking about sitting out the election because they're upset with some of the things of this administration. Are they passing around what to say? Exactly how to say it? It's a fair question, family. Then we had Smokey Robinson come out, and I'm not even gonna play this video because it's gonna irritate the hell out of me to see a legend, somebody that I really had a lot of respect for, someone that I really, truly loved and respected. This would be like if Michael Jackson came out and he endorsed the Democratic Party. That's how disappointed I am. And I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. Smokey Robinson is like number 3 on my list. So it's very disappointing to see this, but it goes to show that you cannot meet your idols, because your idols will always disappoint you. There are no perfect people, only perfect messaging. But yeah, Smokey, that was a big disappointment. Let's move on. They had Sexy Red come out and endorse Kamala Harris. I just voted. Don't tell us what to do with our coochies. Kamala for president. It's so funny that people are so outraged about this so-called women's rights situation. But a little while ago, they couldn't tell you what a woman was.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe
biologist.
The meaning of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address.
Did she just try to tell the senator what the job of a judge is? All right, let's continue.
Disputes. If there's a dispute about a definition, people make arguments, and I look at the law and I decide. So I'm not.
The fact that you can't give me a straight answer about something as fundamental as what a woman is underscores the dangers of the kind of progressive education that we are hearing about. Just last week, an entire generation of young girls watched as our taxpayer-funded institutions permitted a biological man to compete and beat a biological woman in the NCAA swimming championships.
What part of women's rights is that? What part of women's rights is that? It isn't. It isn't at all. Moving right along here. It's come to, well, we've already been telling people in the new black media how they're going around paying people. I've done several broadcasts on this very subject. Now let's hear what this woman has to say about the Kamala Harris camp contacting her.
I need you guys to know that when you see celebrities, influencers, musicians, whoever promoting Kamala Harris, it's because they're paid. And I know because they've approached me 3 times now. They always come in with the same offer. We want you to promote Kamala. We want you to say these talking points. And then I see a celebrity like these talking points.
So for all the people that's saying that we're lying about it, there's the letter right there. This is like the 3rd letter that's been brought to light.
Points. And then I see a celebrity like Cashapp from Selling Sunset with a copy paste of that exact email. And then she posts, vote, vote, looking like super hot in a picture. But nobody puts paid post underneath these. It's propaganda. I don't know how it's not considered illegal to do that when it's the election. When any other time, if we're not making it obvious that we're promoting something we're paid to promote, we could get in trouble. The last offer I got from Kamala Harris's team was $25,000, I believe, for just a couple stories on my Instagram. And I had some other really big offers, and I decided to not take any of them. With a few days left to the election, I just couldn't think to myself, we are this close to having a healthy America, to getting us out of this freaking pharmaceutical haze that we've been in, to get us like healthy food again, to get the pesticides off of our food. These are things we could fix in my lifetime.
So family, you got that. I don't want to go off into her little rap, but you got the point there. Also, I wanted to show you how the Green Party ain't worth nothing either. They out there trying to get Jill Stein to drop out to endorse Kamala Harris. And she's not really gaining as much. She's gaining some, don't get me wrong. She's gaining some support from the black community, but the black grassroots ain't really supporting her because her reparations plan isn't a reparations plan for lineage-based reparations. It's the same thing with Cornel West. It is a flat black reparations plan. And with her vice president being this hardcore Pan-Africanist, trying to make it seem like we gotta jump on board with
and
whatever they say. Hold on. There we go. Because I don't know why that keeps on starting up. But he's trying to make it seem like we got to get down or lay down.
What I would just say about this is that whatever differences we may have within our community, y'all are not going to get an opportunity to support someone so close to the White House, who is a lifelong committed proponent of reparations and justice for the foundational Black community in this country. And if you have to take a little bit of Pan-Africanism and a little bit of anti-white supremacy coalition building with it, you should get down or lay down, because it's going down. I'm bringing this fight, and I'm going to be fighting for reparations for Black folk and restorative justice for all of the people that have been harmed by white supremacy. And this is an opportunity to have somebody that believes in making America finally keep its promises to us in the White House. And if we don't get there on November 4th and you have me as your VP, you can bet for sure that you're going to find me at the top of that Green Party ticket, God willing, and the creek don't rise, in 2028. And I've already expressed my intention to run for governor of California in 26 if we are not victorious in this pursuit of the White House. So happy to continue this conversation, and especially to continue this process of education of our communities as to how we can avoid having Black identity be weaponized in favor of white supremacist domination.
First and foremost, no, you're going to get down or lay down. I think this man is confused about how politics work. I think he's very confused about how politics work. You go in and represent our interests. We don't fall to your interest. You don't tell us what our interest is. We tell you what our interest is. And if you think you're going to run for California governor, you're going to lose that too. Just like Gavin Newsom is going to lose whatever he runs for the next, I don't know how many years, until y'all get it correct. We don't work for y'all, y'all work for us. So to get down or lay down is on your side, not ours. Let's move on. Got a little bit of time. So the NAACP come out with some nonsense. So $20 million civil engagement program they talking about. And our brother Beatzilla, PDX, shout out to him. He says 20 million is a waste of money rather than get Black people some policies, because that's why the Democrats are losing support. Vote no to benign neglect. So then they put out this. NAACP announces $200 million fund to support Black businesses as a part of a reparative economic justice initiative. Now, family, who you think all that money would go to? Because it damn sure wouldn't be the Black grassroots. No. No. It wouldn't be the Black grassroots who gets that money. The people who get that money would be all these tethers, because, the Congressional Black Caucus is full of what? Tethers. The NAACP is full of what? Tethers and coons. We wouldn't see that money the same way we didn't see the $50 million that Wells Fargo gave to the NAACP. But they're trying it. And remember who's a part of the NAACP? Reverend Amos Flip Flop. Reverend Amos Flip Flop. Brown, if you need his last name. He was talking about give $5 million when the beginning stages of the reparations committee in California was going on. He was trying to block cash payments, talking about just give $5 million to the NAACP. But yet, Hold up, family. Let's go here. Let's go here. I'm not going to play this, but if you read New Era Baptist Church, attention to all blacks who plan to vote for Trump, you are an ignorant, stupid Negro. This is what the churches are doing. The same thing Reverend Amos was doing with his coonery, trying to block our progress. But they're putting out messaging like this. Let's hit this one up.
The faith community has always served as a beacon of hope in trying times.
And this election
is no different.
We are going to remember this moment forever.
The moment we chose joy and freedom
as a new way forward.
Some say faith and politics don't mix, but freedom and hope do. Seeing people from all different backgrounds,
races, religions, and genders
gather to show their support and enthusiasm
for Kamala Harris is church.
She exudes integrity,
dignity,
humanity,
and empathy.
Y'all see who it is? So they have people crash out our interest, crash out these committees that are supposed to be directed towards our interest, and then they go and get these same people to try and put them in these videos and campaigns and all this other stuff to act as if they're a part of the community. Make it make sense. This is the same Amos, Dr. Amos Brown, who was trying to block it before, and I'm sure was part of the situation that blocked it when it got blocked at the state legislator level. Let's continue.
Dignity,
humanity,
and empathy.
And she can reach across the aisle, any aisle, and get things done. That's what we need.
Where was the humanity for all the people she was keeping in jail? Where was the humanity and empathy for Cherie Peoples and her daughter that was in the hospital for sickle cell anemia? Where was the compassion for all the people that she was keeping in jail for slave labor? This is why the church is not a part of the black community anymore. The black community has left the black church because of things like this. But I'm going to tell you what needs to happen to the black church. And all of these bootlicks that's in here supporting this situation with Kamala Harris. Not just that, with the Republicans. Churches are 501c3s. The same way the NAACP is a 501c3. Neither one of these are supposed to, whether it be in the NAACP or the church, black or not, are supposed to endorse candidates. They're not even supposed to participate in political situations because they could lose their 501c3 status. Let me go here to this real quick before we get up out of here. This is the IRS.gov. Restrictions of political campaign intervention by Section 501c3 tax exemption organizations. Let me highlight this portion here so people can see that there. Under the Internal Revenue Code, all sections 501c3 organizations are absolutely prohibited. Absolutely prohibited from directly or indirectly participating in or intervening in any political campaign on behalf of or in opposition to any candidate for elected public office. All of them need to lose their status. Everyone in that campaign video needs to lose their status. This church here need to lose their 501c3 status. It all needs to go away because you all are operating outside of the guidelines of the 503c 501c3 revenue code. You're breaking a direct law by doing it. But family, these are the people that they want us to follow into battle. These are the people that they want us to actually be our leaders, and they want them out front, and they want us marching behind them and putting them on our shoulders and championing them as our leaders of the Black community, when all they're doing is literally leading the Black community into a further pit. All because they get paid to. All because a donation may be made here, a donation may be made there. All because of you, to get you off your square. This is where we're at, family. This is where we're at. Not to mention the little chicanery going on with the election right now. Canary in a coal mine, Black early voting lags in North Carolina. So because it's starting to lag, guess what else happens? Oops. What? Chinese citizen charged with illegally voting in Michigan, authority says. Now, this is from CNN, and even though they reported on this, they miss one crucial piece of detail that I want to bring forth, family. Here's another article about the same thing. Chinese student to face criminal charges for voting in Michigan. Ballot will apparently count. So they found out that someone who shouldn't have been voting is still voting. I mean, still casted a vote. And even though this kid is going to go to jail, whoop-de-doo, even though he's going to go to jail, his vote is still going to count. Even though he's being prosecuted for this crime, his vote is still going to count. I urge you guys to go look up this article and read it for yourself in full detail. Okay, let's look at this. ABC station mistakenly airs election results declaring Harris winner of key swing states. Yeah, right there, family. So that 2020 magic, we're starting to see all over the place. In 2016, we had 19 foreign nationals that was indicted for illegally voting, but they want to tell you that no, that doesn't happen. There's no illegal voting going on. It's confirmed. This is straight from ice.gov. But they want to tell us that we're imagining things. We don't know what we're talking about. Colorado's Secretary of State had a breach of the passwords for the voting machines, and they didn't do anything about it until after it became public. Let's get into this.
Passwords for Colorado's voting computers were visible online for months, put there by Democratic Secretary of State Jenna Griswold's office. They found out about the breach 5 days ago, but only started changing the leaked passwords after that security issue was made public. Tonight, 9 News investigates why Griswold dragged her feet on securing the voting machines and telling county clerks about the breach. Here's Marshall Zellinger.
Voting machines used by county clerks are listed on the Colorado Secretary of State's website by serial number, by county, by model, and vendor. And apparently, up until last week, there was a hidden tab next to inventory that, when unhidden, showed one of two passwords needed to make changes to each computer. And Democratic Secretary of State Jena Griswold knew about this on Thursday and did not start having any of the passwords changed until it became public on Tuesday. She also did not notify county clerks until it became public.
Let me emphasize, we have other precautions in place, but the fact that a serious breach occurred is troubling.
Republican...
They always say they have other precautions in place. If that was the case, then why was there 19 foreign nationals indicted for illegally voting in 2016's election? I'm just asking for a friend. Maybe you can clear that up for me.
Wayne Williams was Secretary of State prior to Griswold. They even teamed up for a public service announcement about trusted sources in elections.
Your county clerks are one of those sources, and the fact they weren't involved, were not told, is troubling.
In a statement, the Secretary of State's office said today that it took immediate action to inform a federal agency that monitors security infrastructure, but did not explain why county clerks were not notified. We asked Democratic Attorney General Phil Weiser if his office can or should oversee any investigation. In a statement, a spokesperson said it is critical that this matter be reviewed thoroughly, but did not say if Weiser is calling for his office or some other entity to do that. A statement from Democratic Governor Jared Polis said he had been briefed on election security by several state agencies and that, quote, he has been assured that the passwords have all been changed. The Secretary of State's office told us no, not all passwords have been changed. But even when they are, Williams believes there should be an extra step.
We need to have an inspection occur of each of the machines that was potentially, that the passwords were potentially disclosed.
Yeah, so that 2020 magic got these folks crashing out too. This is why they're crashing out, though. This is why they're trying to procure this 2020 magic, because you got a lot of the people crashing out left and right. And I don't know if it's going to work, because a lot of people got their eyes on this. But you're seeing a lot of things like this happen. I've been getting messages like this as well, but one of our family posted this, and I love the response here, because I hadn't responded to any of them. I just deleted them and blocked them. But it says, "Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a local volunteer with the Virginia Democrat texting team." And it says, "I know you're probably tired of hearing about the election, but we're 2 days out, and this one is going to be close. Can we count on you to vote for Kamala Harris?" And the response to that is so goated. Reparations, 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 reparations. Shout out to the family. Shout out to the family, because that's exactly what they need to be giving us. And that's exactly what they should have gave us if they wanted us to come out. And that's exactly who we're writing in, if not Couch 2024. But they can't get us. They're not grabbing the black grassroots like they really wanted to. So you got a bunch of people crashing out, especially the elders. Especially the elders. I'm going to play this real quick before we get up out of here.
When Barack Obama sent us to war.
Bitch, ain't no Barack Obama sent you no war. Stop saying, he did not. You see how stupid you is? Ain't no goddamn Barack Obama sent you, motherfucker, no goddamn. He didn't, motherfucker. The hell he ain't. He doing it right now.
You just show.
Look, let me tell you.
Because he sent the troops over there, but he ain't sent, but they ain't fighting. Ain't nobody getting killed.
Stop arguing with me, motherfucker. Don't you do that.
I'm just saying what the TV said.
That TV is a lying motherfucker, bitch.
You told me to
what did I
watch
tell
it.
you?
Who told you that?
Motherfucker, Bush started that war. I'm looking at you cold now. Stop being stupid. I don't care. What did I say, motherfucker? What did you
But Donald Trump, but look, Donald Trump, they sent us to war.
The hell he ain't. He doing it right now.
Get you show.
Look.
When Barack Obama sent us to war.
Family, get ready, because after tomorrow, you're going to see a lot of people crashing out like that. No matter who wins, you're going to see a lot of crash outs. And that's fine, because if they really wanted to make sure they solidified that win, they would have did what they absolutely needed to do, which was provide tangibles to the Black community, to provide reparations and a tangible, transformative Black agenda for the descendants of American slaves. They chose not to, and now they're feeling the heat under their feet. And with that being said, family and friends, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. If excuse me, messing up my ending. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get the message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please hit that link. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. Family, grab your popcorn, grab your sodas, your drinks, your libations, whatever you need. Kick your feet up, and let's watch the couch become the next president. And with that being said, the doors of the church are now closed. Peace, family.